Other interesting business news, you have the Toyota Camry will become a hybrid only. Rest in peace, bulletproof reliability. Now, the Camry is currently the best-selling sedan in North America, I believe. And historically speaking, the best vehicle in history by the volume in terms of the number of units sold is actually the Toyota Corolla, which has been around since I believe the 60s, and it's well over 50 million units. And one of the reasons the old Japanese cars are so darn near bulletproof is one, there's not a lot of technology in them relative to today's, where you have more components, more failure points. But the internal combustion engines that they made were ridiculously reliable. Every time you look on the internet or the interwebs and you see, oh wow, another article about a vehicle hitting 1,000,000 miles, more often than not, it's a Toyota or a Honda with an internal combustion engine. Because again, once you become a hybrid or an EV, it's a smartphone. As of today, technology changes very quickly and rapidly, so tomorrow it might be different, but again, as of today, it's basically a disposable smartphone on wheels, just as locked in and just as detrimental when it comes to the degradation and the detriment being the lithium-ion batteries, which are hard to recycle, expensive as heck to replace, so prohibitively so that it actually outstrips the value of the vehicle, which is one of the reasons the Prius used to be a terrible vehicle back in the day in terms of third market and having the second and third buyer for that vehicle. Because, you know, back in, what was this, 2000, I want to say 2012? Back then, especially once that car hit about 1,000,000 or 100,000 miles, and again, Prius is perhaps the most well-known hybrid in history in terms of units sold and just provenance. It's one of those issues where once the batteries died, well, yes, it does have the internal combustion engine, it's a hybrid, but now you have an expensive dead battery that costs more than the vehicle is worth if you want to replace it. So it kind of just became useless. So that's one of the detriments is you're introducing complexities, and now it's not going to be the most reliable car because it's a hybrid. It just won't. Now, it looks like specifically the next generation of the Toyota Camry, which they claim right now is the best-selling car in the U.S. market. This is according to Reuters, and it'll only come in the gas-electric hybrid powertrain. And this is as Toyota is trying to push more into the hybrids, and a lot of people are noting that in terms of consumer adoption rates, the EVs are definitely slowing down. I also kind of think everyone who wants an EV already has one by now. There might be a couple more, but I mean, the majority of those consumers I think are already satisfied. Well, moderately satisfied. They're not going to be happy with the long-term cost of those vehicles if they ever try to, resell it or try to maintain it. But nevertheless, there are many products in the market now, and if you look at what the greatest rate of adoption, it's hybrids. Some people argue it's the best of both worlds. I mean, granted, I'm someone who likes to buy a product and use it for pretty much my whole lifetime, looking for a good durable ROI, which is why I have a good Honda Accord or Civic with 3 pedals, also known as manual transmission and internal combustion engine, which is the most fun you can have in a vehicle, bar none. I can't recommend it enough. It's exhilarating, and it's darn near bulletproof in terms of reliability. Now, this notes that the newest model coming in will be the 2025 Camry, and it will have a combined 2.5-liter gasoline engine and an electric drive system to deliver more power in both front-wheel and all-wheel drive versions. This according to Toyota. They noted that the compliance with tougher U.S. fuel economies rolls in a factor of Toyota's decision to make the new Camry all-hybrid, dropping its 4- and 6-cylinder combustion models that made up 85% of sales in the current model year. Now, David Christ, who is the head of Toyota brand in North America, told Reuters another factor behind the decision was, quote, the performance we were able to get out of a hybrid, unquote. Which some might call a moronic statement or mentally vacuous, but not to drive this home for the 1,000th time, but people usually are not buying a Toyota for performance. They're buying it because it's reliable. I mean, it'll last over 200,000 miles easy. 1,000,000 miles if you take good care of it. It'll last a quarter of a century. My family still drives a 2001 Honda Accord. It has an internal combustion engine. It is hard to beat that reliability. So it'll be interesting to see what this does to their brand, because again, Toyota is known for making the most reliable vehicles, bar none, basically. And again, the Prius was already chiseling away at that brand, because again, as I noted earlier, once the battery life is depleted, the cost of the battery is prohibitive to replace on that thing, and it just basically became an ICE engine with a heavy battery as ballast. Now, the downside is the government regulations. The government is bullying these companies to do this, and they're forced to make more and more EVs and more hybrids. The actual effects of the environment be damned, or the long-term ROI to the consumer, what's going to help out the consumer the most. So I understand that it is a big factor why so many of these automotive manufacturers are pushing these types of products and starting to sunset some of their traditional, more reliable products. Now, the Toyota claims its acceleration of development of electric vehicles is still betting on demand for the hybrids and plug-ins, remains robust, and they're taking a quote-unquote multi-pathway approach to seeking to satisfy consumer needs in every market. Which again, you just gave a middle finger to 85% of your customers. 85% purchase the traditional internal combustion engine Camry. Partially because they know it'll last their lifetime, or darn near. The hybrids, again, there might be new battery technology tomorrow. That's how I always have to have that caveat because technology moves very quickly. There's a lot of research and development going on all the time. But right now, it's not so good. And they brag about the new electric hybrid all-wheel system will deliver 232 combined horsepower, nearly 15% more than the outgoing Camry with his mechanical all-wheel drive system, which I'm trying to think of a nice way of saying no one cares. I'm lost for words at the moment. I'll just say it. Nobody cares. No one has ever purchased a Toyota knowing the horsepower. The only exception being the Supra, which we could debate another time, another hour, which is mostly a BMW. Or perhaps it used to be the Scion RS, which is now the Toyota 86. No one, I would venture to bet 99% of people who ever go to a Toyota dealership don't know the horsepower of the vehicle. They do not care about the horsepower of the vehicle. They're going there for one reason or reason alone: reliability, and a track record of decades upon decades upon decades of proving that reliability. So let me know in the comments. I don't think this is going to be great because they're taking away that choice from the consumer. And again, they're also noting that the cost is going to go up too because, of course, because it's more complexity, more precious metals. They're noting that the cost of the hybrid powertrains will sell at about $1,500 to $2,000 over the old ICE engine. And it's currently rated for, current Camry rated for 52 miles per gallon. Which, again, I would also say reliability. Know your brand. I mean, yes, the Prius is perhaps one of the most well-known hybrids, and they brag about fuel economy, and that did get some consumers, but I don't know. Let me know if you think differently. I just don't think this will be good for their brand long term, because inherently there's less reliability with those types of things, and I think that was what built the success of the company. But granted, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how things turn out. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November. And your feedback is also greatly appreciated. If you give me notes in the comment section, that's how I know what things I need to work on to make the show better and better. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.